I wanted to throw my hat in the ring and talk a little bit about our first look at Masters of the Universe Revelation, Kevin Smith's He-Man series that is coming on July 23rd on Netflix. Obviously my channel is so small, so I mean, almost no need for a disclaimer, but I am not endorsed or connected or anything like that with this. I am just a fan. So here's the thing, right? When we got news of this a couple of years ago, I was willing to give Kevin Smith a shot because he's done so much in the comic book world and stuff. I know that he has love and respect for the property. So it seemed like a good idea. And then we found out the studio that they are using, and it's an okay studio. It's not great, but it's okay. And he said that they were going to honor the material because it was going to be a continuation. They weren't going to monkey with the designs too much. They were going to keep the characters the same. And, well, that turned out to maybe not be quite so true. On one side, there are some design elements that were going to have to be updated or changed anyway, simply for the fact that you have different artists and different animation technology going on. That is a major part of this. And so, like, some of the obvious things that we see, like if you look through some of the still photos that were released earlier, you see that they are making Prince Adam look considerably different than He-Man rather than just the palette swap, which is honestly a better way to go. And then you'll notice that He-Man's emblem is different. Well, here's the thing with that. That's still historically accurate. The toy line, when they came up with Battle Damage Armored He-Man, is a very similar logo. This kind of H with a slightly M look on the bottom of the H, kind of an HM kind of looking logo. It is a little tweaked and updated on this current design, but it actually reaches back to one of the old toy designs, so I'm okay with that. I totally understand them kind of moving away from the Cross-Petit Knights Templar kind of thing. It's not an Iron Cross, by the way. The Iron Cross is exclusive to the Third Reich. It's Cross-Petit. I might be saying that wrong, but that goes back to the Knights Templar. And so, some understandable changes there. As far as some of the designs on, like, Mossman and Skeletor that we saw, the design on Cringer and Battlecat, those are all fine. Slightly updated, they look modern, but they are still recognizable, and they don't feel in any way, shape, or form to be cynical or jeering or anything like that. But one thing that they did show, one of the screen captures that they did show, was a group of the characters, including Teela, in a newer setting or a different setting with a completely different aesthetic. And I'm gonna say, right, as a fan of Teela, as somebody who had a crush on Teela when he was a kid, and hey, I still don't mind looking at her. I really don't like the Karen haircut. I understand, right? Like, oh, she's a warrior, she probably shouldn't have long hair. It's a fantasy setting. Everybody in fantasy settings has long hair, so that's a stupid argument. And giving her a hyper modern, like, I want to speak to your manager, Karen haircut is really terrible. And maybe it's because he's got Chris Wood on the thing and he's worked on Supergirl, and maybe he likes Shyler Leigh. I'm probably saying her name wrong too, but maybe he likes Shyler's haircut. I don't know, but it's a bad move, and I hope they don't stick with that. Giving her more armor and stuff, having the slightly more post-apocalyptic look and all that. Maybe that'll be cool. He did say in the interview with EW that they are going to be exploring a lot more in depth of the characters, the world, the stories, the actual relationships. The gloves are off. I don't remember the exact term that he used, but they're actually allowed to do more than write a 30-minute toy commercial, because they're actually writing for the old fans. They're writing for people like myself. I was born the year that the He-Man toys hit the shelves, 82. I was born that year, right? The comic or the cartoon came out the year after that. I was raised on He-Man. And So the this show is for those of us in that generation, and it may have some appeal for younger folks as well, but that show is really for the old fans, especially because Netflix has that secondary He-Man Masters of the Universe property that's coming out. That's going to be all CG, done by that same studio that did Troll Hunters and whatnot. We haven't seen much of that. The character designs are underwhelming, very very altered and modernized. Not particularly awe-inspiring. I'm going to give it a shot because I'm a He-Man fan. It's the same reason as a guy who's almost 40, I still watch Power Rangers, because there's a bit of that nostalgia and just kind of reaching back into the childhood and be like, hey, you know what? I want to keep alive that feeling of hope and inspiration that I had when I was a kid. And so when we look at this stuff, you just have to cut a little slack and go, look, this is for the kids of now. And there are some things I hope that they don't do with it. I hope that they don't get overly political with it. People are sick of being preached at. Nobody likes being preached at, right? People like their confirmation bias, but nobody likes being preached at. And preachy shows tend not to last. So hopefully they don't go overly preachy. I know the old moral tales and stuff were part of the original. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with your perennial things of don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Those things are fine, but provided they don't get all preachy and woke, would be preferable. Like I said, I'm not overly enthusiastic about the designs, but they're really made for the 8-year-olds of today. They're not made for the 40-year-olds of yesterday. So, I don't know. Let's enjoy it. This probably was of no use to anybody, but I wanted to speak my piece on it, and I will talk to you guys later. Good journey.